I am so happy in my fucking space. You have to learn to love it.
And you think about how you introduce, how you would be introduced during different phases of your life based on where you are. That right there.
Because they all you. That's
They
why I
are.
don't give a fuck about what nobody got to say about my journey. Because who you? What you been through?
And you know what's so interesting about that, and it also kind of connects to it. I didn't realize also how many environments I mask in. And don't get me wrong, my mask is also me. It's a version. It is definitely a version of me. Like it's not like I'm pretending to be someone that I'm not. I'm just not showing you all of who I am. Yeah, and so it's to the point where
It's the
now
uniform for that job.
Oh, honey, and let me tell you something. I am at this different phase. I have more than one identity, and I love all of them. And I'm perimenopausal.
I'm very menopausal.
See, look. And you know what's so crazy? That's why I grabbed that spray for you when we came in.
Did. You
I was
right
like,
what
you
you
know,
do.
you know what that spray is called? Keep Your Cool, and it was designed for menopause to give you a quick cool down. So I literally take it out, and I'll never not go nowhere without it because I be needing that quick. And I go from cold to hot, all kind of crazy stuff.
It's crazy.
But as I've given my perimenopausal side is like my second puberty or my second coming of womanhood, right? Culturally, my origin culture in Nigeria, which is the Igbo tribe, that's how they consider perimenopause. And menopause is like a second coming of your womanhood. But because what I realize is, and in the growth of my relationship and then the changes in my womanhood and my life and what I'm experiencing biologically,
right,
but also psychologically, emotionally, and spiritually, because I do feel like I was broken down to the bitter parts. In the most, like, if you looked at it from the outside, they're like, oh, her relationship, she's so happy, she's so this, and look, that's all true. Right?
But
that's all true. But if he told you his version of the story and what he watched me go through, you would hear a whole nother story.
You see
and I
the
said
scenes.
to someone, they said to me, you know, like I think Tahoe even said to me, I've been a little bit more of a bitch lately. Wasn't that the word you used?
I don't know if I said it like that. Don't do that.
I think he said to me, yo, I ain't gonna lie, like, no shit, you've been a little bitchy lately or whatever. And I kind of like, yeah, I actually call it my perimental bitch.
Cute.
A perimental bitch, and I have a perimental disorder. And they show up for different reasons. So if you trigger me, you're going to be my perimental disorder.
Hey.
But if you push in my patience levels, which 90% I reserve for my man and my children, you're going to catch, like, once that 10% water down, you're going to get my perimental bitch. And I realized it's like what it looked like was there were things that I would think in my head and never say out loud. And now I'm saying them out loud, right? My first response, like y'all used to hearing my second response. You just didn't know that. Now I'm giving the first response sometimes, and I'm actually, it's so liberating. But
it is.
But the point of it, that what I was
That's why
saying,
now you know why old people just say what the fuck they want.
I get, you don't have time
No.
to be, you know, some people don't deserve honey.
No,
and that's
they
the
don't.
thing. So I wrote the book, don't get me wrong, but there's a part of the book in the chapter where I say there is also a phrase I use when I ain't got it, which is I ain't got no honey, which is my way of saying I'm not going to do the extra labor to make it come out beautiful in this moment. So try to heed the words and my message and not necessarily the way it's delivered. I'm gonna give you that disclaimer when I don't have it in me to do, because it takes a lot of work, right? Yeah. To not give it that way. It's the people appreciate a great communicator, but they don't appreciate the level of work that it takes to be a great communicator, because it's a constant awareness of my feelings and yours. And even in conversations where they're not considering you. Right? So I got in this relationship, and to the tune of what you're saying, right? The same way the wrong relationship will bless you and grow you, the right relationship is actually uglier. I just want to forewarn you, it's actually uglier when you find the right person, because now you're inspired to do it for you, but also you have this person who you realize deserves the best version of you. And you feel like because of who they are to you, they deserve the effort that it requires to become that person. So I had to go back into the chamber. I had to go back into the processing. I had to break down. I had to be depressed. I had to go through all of it. My PTSD had to surface. I had to feel the aches and the pains in my body and my hips and my sciatic nerve and my joints, and the constant reminder that I'm now closer to 40 than 30. I had to go through all of that. I had to cry. I had to shiver. I had to pass out. I had to have anxiety attacks. I went through all of this, and I realized that the reason I could was because I had never been safe to before.
That's called shadow work.
Yes. So now this person is, I'm usually the mirror to others. I finally got a person in my
Look
life
at
who
that.
who showed me.
Look at that.
Who has me checking myself. Who has me saying, you know what, you was wrong for that. Oh, you could have said that different. Who has you, because you didn't deserve that. Right. So the things that are reflecting back to me are things that have been present, but maybe I just didn't feel like those people deserve that level of effort in making it better. But then you come across a person like, you don't deserve this. I think that's the true growth, because now you're motivated to actually put some one true dedication and commitment around those changes. But then you are doing it with a person who gives you the grace of failure along the process, knowing that if I've been cutting niggas off for my whole life, I'm not going to stop today,
Right.
but I'm going to catch it more. I'm going to be like,
Right.
oh, you know what? I'm sorry. Finish what you were
He
saying.
gonna pick up the band-aid and be like, all right, baby.
And they're going to give me the grace to know
Right.
that it's going to take a lot of times for me to do that before it becomes habitual for me to not, because I've been spending my whole life being
Doing
this person.
defending myself,
Yes.
protecting myself.
And you know what I realized, because I was in a conversation panel, and some of the people there were married people in the panel, there were people in committed relationships, and then there were individuals single in the discussion. So a variety. Mm-hmm. And you know what really clicked for me about where we are and today, and why we really ain't getting no real pleasure out here, and no real love, and no real true growth. None of y'all have patience for what it actually requires to grow that level of a relationship. People see the relationship you have,
Intimacy.
but y'all don't want to do the work.
You don't want to do the work. They want it instant.
I'll say, hey, you have to give your person room to fail. I don't have time for that. You should already have that together. You should already know this. You should already know that.
And then wonder why you get what you get.
You should already know. There's a couple things you should already know
How
too,
about it?
right? Don't just put that statement out there. What you should already know is that there's somebody who allowed your dumb ass to fuck up 20 times and get it wrong. And there's somebody out there who you're the villain in their story because of how much wrong you were still getting wrong. But you don't want to give that grace to a person who you've deemed to be the person you say you want to love and like and this, and they got 20 million things to write about them, but they got this one thing wrong, or there's two
Pop
things
the
wrong.
balloon on their ass.
Baby. And you see how, you know what it reminds me of? It's like when they pop the balloon and then later on they like,
Damn, I should
give me that back. Yeah.
I should have blew that bitch
Yeah, I'm gonna
back
take my
up.
balloon back, because you impulsively was so quick, right?
Impulsive and like, what is the word? Like shallow. Like in a lot of cases, just that don't even fucking matter. It don't even really matter to you.
You know, I tell you, I actually think the right person should, like, for me, I feel like I saw all of his flaws before I saw the other parts, but I actually was like, these are flaws I can deal with.
This is exactly what loving a person looks like.
For who they are.
Absolutely. This is so. I got 2 kids, right? And my oldest son is he's something else. He just actually he's now a pro boxer. Shout out Nessie, mom.
Okay.
Yeah, right. So I love him to no end, but he's a motherfucker, and I know that. I know these things.
We all know when our kids ain't
Nah, listen. Because people get out here and, oh my God, my baby, they never listen, something happened to my son. I'm gonna sit back and I'm gonna let y'all tell me what happened.
Because you gonna know.
I know this person. I'm not going nowhere acting like he was the best. No. What happened? What happened? What you do?
And then
somebody gonna come holding their eye like, yeah, this the shit.
And it's the detail that's going to tell you whether your child is guilty or not. That's not his MO.
No, exactly.
Then when I know it ain't his MO, then we ride. We don't.
Let me tell you, this child, this grown man, but as a child, will come and give me fair warning. In his own words, these ones specifically. Hey, Mom, I'm about to be bad. Just like that. What happened? And he'll tell you. But he gonna let you know I'm about to be bad, and that's not even stop this. This is happening already. This I'm just letting you know ahead of time. So go sit down and let me do what I'm doing, but be writing up my punishment because it's happening. This is how he
already decided.
He done.
That's how I used to rationalize stuff too.
Honey.
I just didn't give my mother the heads up. I would just think about it. I'd be like, yeah, I'm going to see that boy. She can beat my ass for 60 seconds. I'm going to cry. I might fall asleep from crying, but I'm going to be very happy I saw that boy.
That the craziest thing in the world that you mentioned that and you use that as the example, because I was the perfect child until I lost my virginity. You can these niggas, that dick was crazy. It was different. Like, you know how you hear old fiends say the coke was good back then. It's like the dick was that juvenile, stinky, fucking pheromone-ridden dick was. Oh my God!
It's crazy because I was always, top of my class, honor roll,
you're great.
all the great things. And you know what?
But I'm gonna flip upside down.
Look, and I'm gonna give myself fairness. I also used to lock in. Like, I used to have some real puppy. Like, I had relationships as a teenager. So it wasn't like I was just going to see a bunch of boys. But that boy who did that thing, I was. And then I think I got to a certain point where I want to, maybe it's like 2 years that I would define, if someone will ever call it a whole phase, that would be it, because I wasn't committed. And now I'm in a different space where I go into committed relationships where we agree that we like to do certain things.
Exactly what it. You know what? I've been so
we evolve.
Technically, I entered into the lifestyle in 2017, but I've been doing this shit my whole life. Like, the boy I lost my virginity to, and he got picked. Like, he was the pick. Like, I did like him, but I just need to do this thing because I want to have a story to tell, like my girlfriends is telling me. Like, okay, so you're it. So much so that 2 days later he came because we were supposed to be a couple. He broke up with me and it was just like, oh, okay, all right. I'm about to go to cheerleader practice. Came and told my girlfriend. And she was like, what? We gets on the three-way with my cousin. She gets on the three-way with somebody else. We all talking. I find out I'm supposed to be jealous. I'm supposed to go and fight the girl. I didn't know that. I didn't know.
That was the day you knew that you wanted.
That was
you
the day.
I
let me tell you something. I have a very good friend. Him and his wife. He's actually an ex-boyfriend. Girl, my life is crazy as fuck. I swear to God, I need somebody with no life to just follow me around to remember the shit I'm gonna forget. Because I'm so sincere, because
her life is that
when
lit.
I'm not able to do the shit no more, I want to write the world's best-selling fucking nonfiction fiction. Because you're gonna swear to God it didn't happen. Anyway, he's a very good friend of mine, him and his wife. This man, he's an ex. We were going somewhere, I don't know, all three of us. Kids and everybody. We was in a motherfucking poly, and it was crazy. But we weren't. We were going somewhere, and he just turns around and tells his wife, he like, yo, if I would have known then what I know now, we probably wouldn't even never got married. So now I look at her. He
said that to her?
He don't have no sense. He's just crazy. And I told her plenty of time, thank you for taking this man off the street, because he crazy. He ain't
got no sense?
He ain't got no fucking sense.
Or no filter, better yet.
He don't got no filter. But he's he's a beautiful individual. She know her husband. And that's why I said, girl, thank you. Thank you, Dad. Thank you. I look in the rearview mirror. She looking at me. She says, why in the fuck you say that? He said, because I didn't know it was okay to marry a hoe. I would have married her a long time ago. We just both looked, and so we're both offended, but for different reasons now. And he's just happily driving.
So, because first of all, you over here saying you ain't married me because I was a hoe, and you over here saying that if you would have
been the choice,
she would have been the choice if you could have had the hoe. Either way,
it was just so. He's crazy, but that's who he is.
Okay,
but they're very, very good friends of mine. I'll say that to say that, and they pretty much turned me the fuck out is what the hell happened, and that's why I probably was permissible for him to be able to say some shit like that. But it's crazy.
So let me ask you this, because I have a gift that I want to give you. But before I go there real quick, I feel like it's so crazy. I just pick things that based on what I feel like that day.
As you should. Even
like when I wrote in your book, I was like, I write what I feel in that moment. And so I want to ask you, because you said turned out. We're going to go, well, now we talking identity, shit, and it's pride. Okay. Okay. Tell me, and you have this shirt on also that says that she is a weekend bisexual. Okay. And so it's funny, you say weekend bisexual. At all of my parties, when I was doing the toy parties and stuff, a part of my introduction, I used to say to them, I'm part-time gay. Right? And so and they used to not get it. And I'm like, no, it's very simple logic. And typically I'm straight. I go to do a regular job, regular 9 to 5, but I'm part-time gay. And so sometimes I clock in, I do some gay stuff,
And then I
I
clock
clock out. And if I like you, I might do it overtime. I take vacation in it.
Exactly.
Right? But the bottom line is, it's like, this isn't my regular. I know that this is my baseline, and this is I like to every now and again. So that's how I would define myself. I wouldn't call myself bisexual. Right. So now I'm looking at this, and that's why when I saw weekend bisexual, I was like, it's like my part-time.
Warrior.
Yeah,
Exactly.
like I'm on a weekend.
Exactly.
I might do some things.
Exactly.
But when do you feel like you knew that was a part of identity that you attached to you?
So again, these friends.
Those are the friends.
Those are the motherfucking friends.
It's always the toxic ones too.
It is. They so toxic and beautiful. What is wrong with them? So this man propositioned me, to have a threesome with his wife, and he has done it so many times, and I had to tell him, listen, sir, I don't mess around, and and one day, I don't know why, just one day, he asked again, and I said, well, listen, if your wife will tell me that that's what she wants, then I'll do it. Why did I fucking say that?
Oh, because she was already
Why did I say that? So here's the thing that happened. It didn't go down. It wasn't so smooth initially. We made a date, and I said, listen, you bring your ass over here to pick me up, and she not with you, or she hasn't told me anything, you gonna come over here for nothing. So you keep delaying all you want. I ain't getting no call. I ain't getting nothing. Keep doing it. Doomsday came. Sure enough, I ain't getting no call. But then the following day, she shows up by herself.
Oh.
She shows up by herself.
Okay. The plot thickens.
Right. And invites me out for coffee. And coffee turned into, a nightcap there. And I'm a smoker. So, we're having our girl session. And I happen to doze off. So it's been a long day. We've been hanging out, doing whatever. And I happened to doze off and woke up to being accosted by both of them.
Oh.
I'm on the couch, and I'm a naked bitch. I'm always ain't got nothing on.
Always accessible.
Yeah,
that's what I call it. I'm accessible.
Right. So, she's at the top kissing me, and he's at the bottom kissing me, and I just had to ask myself, I didn't, consent is key. This was very, very new, so they didn't have, but all right, this is going to be a very, very awkward ride home if I stop this now. And
so you're determining the consent as it's happening.
Yeah, I'm determining it as this is going to be very, very awkward. But now, do I like what's happening? Do I see? I'm very analytical, and it's sometimes a fucking.
It's annoying, right? Because it feeds overthinking like a motherfucker.
Gosh, I have stopped sucking dick to ask questions before, and it's.
The intrusive thoughts win sometimes, don't
do.
they? You be like this.
It is just
Did you
sometimes.
change your
Just
soap?
say a rap verse.
I will literally stop and be like, "Did you change your soap?"
Yeah. Or just pull back and whoa.
Yeah, because this one has like a
whoa.
zesty scent. Okay, all right. I just was, and then go right back.
Right. You know what I mean?
That's
Quote
funny.
some shit. I do things like that. So
I think those are the things that get people addicted to you, though.
They
the things that you think
are.
will turn people off are the things
oh my
that
God,
actually...
because they know if you decide to let this be a party story, nobody else here is going to have it. Nobody else here is going to fucking have it.
That's a good way to put it.
They're not. So I
okay.
decide to just let this happen. And I realized that I liked contrast. I liked his hard to her soft. I am a narcissist, so I love the attention. I enjoyed the attention, but it was like, oh my God, if you could call a thing hot ice, this is what it was.
Sliding that in at that moment of the conversation was one of the most narcissistic things you could have did. Because it was narcissistic to slide it in knowing you, and I'm going to keep going past it. Right?
Yeah.
Meanwhile, my overthinking ass is like, so she ain't going to really tell us about that narcissist thing.
I like it, and I realized that I liked it, and I stopped them a few times to tell them what it was that I liked about it. Now, another thing that I realized is that I am orally fixated.
Okay.
That is really, really bad. I watch people's mouths while they talk. Like I Yeah, I'm so it's crazy.
I can
watch you
understand it.
eat. I am.
Oh, I know you
yeah.
must have loved back in the day when they would use Morris in a movie because they were, you know how they would, I forget what movie it was, where they would zoom in on his mouth and slow it down. Oh,
I'm like,
man.
damn, if I could
like,
thin my tongue out just enough to stick it through
yes,
the bottom
I used
gap.
to watch
Yes.
them scenes and be like, y'all are sexualizing
Terrible.
me.
Yeah, they was doing it subliminally. Mom, why you ain't putting no lead paint on this motherfucking wall so I can't get done like this? God damn it, the things is coming through to get me. Honey. So I really, really enjoyed the reaction I get from women. It makes me understand myself a little bit more to grant them pleasures I know they're not receiving, not for lack of effort or not for a man's ability in his own right, but I am a woman.
And it does give you an advantage.
Yeah. And not that I know, because every woman don't want the same thing.
And it's also a lot of women who think because of that they ain't got to,
right.
But you pay attention to things that a woman might pay attention to. And that's how you.
And they appreciate the small things that, you know, a man might
overlook.
Overlook. Right.
Yeah, and honestly, it doesn't even have to be rooted in ill intent.
No.
It's just that we are trained to be more attuned to certain things that they're not.
So that I think that is the thing for me. There's the analytical brain again, talking itself through the pleasure. I enjoy the new relationship that I now have with women through the sex.
You know, I gotta imagine though, with an oral fixation, what I would find intriguing. See, here's my intrusive thought. What I would find intriguing is that whenever you interact with a penis, you create the moisture. But when you interact with your mouth and a vagina, they create the moisture. And it's like two different types of, and I don't think, anyone who hasn't dabbled in both ponds can't understand that aspect of it.
No,
But I find that again, these are the crazy things that I'm thinking about, right? And when you're having those experiences, what you can appreciate from one versus the other, right? So it's like when let's just say you're giving head, you're gagging to get that oral thick, saliva. But with vagina, vagina, natural, the female kind of ejaculate and wetness and all of those things too already have a texture to it that's a little thicker, that's a little bit more. So, when you just like using your mouth on things, you come to appreciate different essences.
Yes,
no, but
this is true.
It's so funny. So, and it's like, I even took it a step further. You know what? I got to give it, we're on the Beverly Candy podcast, but I got to give it up to BK. I just got to say this because can I have fun with you?
Go ahead.
Because you said you had an oral fixation. I got to fun. So you could feel, because I don't want to just tell you about this. You ain't even going to need that water. I need you to feel it. So now when I describe it, we can both be experiencing it simultaneously. So take a little dab of this. Like, I'm going to give you some on your fingers. And then I want you to put it in your mouth. On your don't squirt at me now. It's just it's shot out. Okay, put it a little bit, and I like to say, put your tongue, squish it around those cheeks, and get it all in your mouth. It's a light flavor to it. It's like a buttercream icing flavor. But you should start filling your mouth.
Cool.
And now tell me, you feel the wetness coming in, like the moisture. Yeah. See, look, it was on the tip of her tongue. Yeah, look. It makes you start to, you feel that fixation. Yes. Now, if you have it on the tip of a penis and it goes to the back of your throat, it creates this kind of like slight numbing kind of sensation, but you can feel things, but it's like you're tolerant, but it makes that area feel a lot wetter too. So it's just like it's gliding. Yeah. You see, look, she's still, So the funny thing about it is I'm shouting out BK right now because I remember the first time, you this is one of those places where getting high on your own supply is like mandatory, right?
Hey.
So I done used everything in the catalog. Everything in the catalog, all 200, 300 items, I've used them. And the reason why I'm saying that is because in my own, sounds like I'm gonna try this. This is actually a clitoral arousal cream, right? Or I'm not even gonna say clitoral. I'm gonna say arousal cream because you can use it on the tip of a penis or the clitoris, right? Under that, yes, right around that corona and under that the frenulum. You rub it in, and it kind of creates a little different sensitivity at the head. That's gonna change what it feels like when they're both at the front end of your mouth, back end of your mouth, or inside or whatever they're penetrating, right? So it heightens the sensation. But on the clitoris, it makes it more plump, right? So now the clit is like almost a little swell, like more blood flow there. So because of the higher concentration of blood flow and the tingling that you felt in your mouth, she's also feeling friction more intensely. So every time a body passed by, it's like, or your tongue or whatever, it's just like you feel this intense, like you can't even avoid it, right? So now
okay, go on.
Here I am, because a girl, look, she tearing up. Look at my girl. I ain't got the proof is in the buttercream, not the pudding. But it literally, you start to feel excited and warm and tingly and everything's just flowing and it's on both sides. So now I'm like, okay, wait, if it has this effect there and I put it on this tip, I went to go put the mouth on and then I started to get it in my mouth residually. And that's what made me start to do this little trick right here. Because when I got it on I would notice that my mouth got moist and more, and it's just dripping and I'm just gawking. And even with women, you see that slurping.
Yes.
Everything was just so much more juicy. And I like sounds. Yes.
I am audio too.
I have oh my God, auditory stimulation is a big deal for me. So like I'm hearing all this wetness and that whatever, and every time I hear it, it's like like that gushy. So I'm looking at the little bottle, like hold on now. So then let me tell you a little other little. We talked about the front end. Yeah. But take a little bit of that and rub it in that back rim area. So, it will make, first of all, the tingly feeling is going to make it where that sensation in that area is not as painful, first of all. I noticed. It's like that's the response, right? So you notice like, okay, it has like a dentine ice pepperminty feel. And I guess because it's cool, it's almost like when you put an ice pack on something swollen.
It takes out the intensity.
Yes, so the sensation of something entering or like even if it's just a thumb or any other part of the body or object, it doesn't hurt in the same way that it would for some people. Right. It lets you relax. But it's flavored. So now I'll be taking this type of stuff and mixing with the flavored lube. And they like, oh, you eating groceries. It's a fruit market for real over here. I'm putting some tangerine peach in this asshole.
Yikes.
And I'm going to put a little buttercream on top. And when you get back there,
now we got a cake.
Now we got a whole tropical smoothie out this bitch, okay? And so with the oral fix,
that like really turned up the heat on me. Look at me.
Oh my God, give me some paper towel for my girl. I'm trying to tell you.
Hunty.
Now imagine if that was your coochie though.
Baby,
pat my girl down. Pat my girl down, and I'm not lying. I don't be having a lie. Come, let me cool you down. Look, see, we got the thing to heat you up, but we also got the thing to cool you down. Keep you cool, honey.
There we go.
And if you just fan that, let that sit in. It has a eucalyptus in it too. So
look at that.
I will tell you, when else this is really good? When you first wake up in the morning, you want to get that fresh kind of wake. But while you meditate on, you're in the shower. So if you spray it on your face right before you get in the shower, the steam of the shower against the cool creates this really like open pores, really liberating feeling. So it's a nice way to get a quick wake up
jolt
or whatever. But baby, this right here also after sex. I'll be you can cool all this shit down.
Yes, thank you so much for that. I needed it.
No, seriously, but it's like when you appreciate and you have an oral fixation. Yes. I was like, wait, I know she could appreciate this story. Somebody. I'm gonna make sure we get one of those for you. I'll make sure, but I did get you something. Hold on, I got you something.
Well, we got us.
We got us a little black and gold token.
Look at that.
So I want you to open each, and as you take them out, I'm gonna tell you why I picked them for you. Okay?
I love gifts.
Yes,
Thank
yes.
you so much.
I'll try to be a very intentional gift giver, and so you wore that shirt, and so the biggest box is gonna make so much sense now.
You know what? I don't.
Okay.
Buzzing. Is that my phone? Okay, so no.
So that right there is called Velvet. Now, out of Bedroom Candy's products, out of all that big catalog, that is my number one favorite product. Let me just say that. Not none of the toys, not none of that. It's an organic sugar scrub, right?
Yes.
It's laced with shea butter, all cocoa butter, vitamin E. And the shea butters that we use in it is actually sourced in Ghana by Women's Collective. So it's a very powerful thing. We benefit them. Yes, it's called the Beautiful Sisters Collection. So layers of black-owned, women-owned businesses deep down,
that's
right?
What it's about.
Yes, and
That's what
so
it's about.
I like Velvet because during the time of my life where I didn't have a lot of time to take care of myself, this allowed me to get care every day. Right. I always joke that I didn't when you lead a certain life, and you would be surprised, but taking the time to have my shea butter sister moments, I call them, where, you're really moisturizing your skin. Sometimes we just so on a go, we so moving, we don't really get to take those times. And, balancing being that person for everyone would eliminate more of that time. So Velvet, when you're in the shower after you, or a tub or whatever, after you wash, you use that scrub all over you. It's going to moisturize you. You're going to have a glistening coat of, your skin is going to look, right? And it gives a good exfoliant, especially in the inner thighs. It helps with the chafing and all of that stuff. And I noticed that the areas I use it, discoloration has gone away. And I share that because I always say thick thighs don't always save lives. But
sometimes
it's like
thick
an
thighs
extra
look like black eyes.
baby. Black eyed peas, all it's two different. Yeah. But I started, Velvet became so important to me because it was like an extra 3 minutes. I could give myself an extra 3 minutes, but when I would come out, the way I would just see the water like beating off my skin, like every time I would step out, I'd be like, yo, you is bitch, you is bad. Yes. And so it became a part of my ritual. It allowed me to give my skin and my everything that sort of thing. And people started complimenting, oh, your skin is that's just a snap. Like, oh, we shining right now, baby. This was exfoliated before we got here, but it became my 3 minutes of love for myself, no matter what. So even on the days that I didn't think I had time, I always had time because I'm gonna wash my ass.
That's beautiful.
Right.
Absolutely.
So I gave you that one because I feel like you're the person who I feel like can appreciate stepping in, right, or whatever, and stepping out like Velvet.
I know that's
okay.
Right. I know that's right.
Okay.
I so appreciate it.
Yes.
And I'm definitely gonna let you know.
Yes, please do. I would love to see, even if you when you do it, record your skin before and then record your skin after and see it, because I'm telling you, it just has like the visual sensation you get from seeing yourself glowing like that. You
got me. Look, Kai, take a shout.
Look. My girl, listen. Happy Juneteenth, sister.
Happy Juneteenth. And so what do we have?
Oh, that is our lipstick called Illicit. Illicit is an all black suede lipstick. And that is for
all black suede. So
yes,
matte.
Yes, it's like a matte kind of look on it. Black matte, real rich black color. That's for when you and your mistress Pegasus mode. That's when you're ready to really, first of all, it would look good with what you got on now. You came through ready for it. Look, with the black and white. So when you're ready to go from look, the soft version to the don't play with me version, I want you to get illicit with it. Okay?
The fuck
yes. That's your bow down color. Now this one right here is for your pleasure. So that's for your wellness. That's for your confidence. That's for your energy. This is for your pleasure.
Look at that. I got a 3 for.
And you know why I picked this one? Look at the name of it. I want you to read the name of it.
Wait a minute.
It's on the side right here. Yep.
Next level.
You know that's an intentional choice in the words, right? Not just because it's a rainbow situation that could get, do some things with,
next
but
level.
But you going to your next level.
For sure.
You're going to be in this seat.
I am.
I'm speaking that over you right now.
You know what? I receive it.
Okay.
I receive it. You know what? I swear sometimes the things people say can just shift, That's another reason why I'm orally fixated, because from the mouth you can breathe life or take it away. You can breathe life or take it away. And that just, you making mention of the fact that you're speaking that over me, that took me out of the domineering space and made me feel nurtured.
Which you should be. See, the thing is, I always get switch energy from you also anyway. I'm a switch. I feel like it's just that we tend to have one side that shows up more because that's who is necessary most in most spaces. But the submissive side is actually the more powerful side to me.
Absolutely.
Because there is something about the power of letting go of something, releasing something. It's actually sometimes harder to release than to hold on. And I think that for you, have to be in spaces where you're not having to hold the responsibility that you typically do in order for you to be able to submit to the other side of you. But you have, how can I say this to you? Okay.
I'm listening.
There is such a beauty, not just in the submission of yourself, but the submission to your soul, right? There's something your soul craves. And I realize that you said you go to lifestyle spaces because that community, that cuddle environment, that's because there's a part of you that has been seeking that cuddle comfort as well. You're not there just to be there for other people. You're there because you also need the hold. You also need the hug. But I also feel like you said, you're in menopause, right? Mm-hmm. Again, to that second coming, and I don't know any woman who's gone through menopause and come out the same woman, right? It's such a defining period because the world does not require, screw the relationship, screw the people, screw all of that. Do you know your body is telling you have to change?
Yeah.
Literally, that is what we call it, the change. Yeah. So when you embrace that means that it's okay to toggle the switch and change. You don't have to be mistress all the time. Right. And now you can experience the other side of that coin, because when you've reached this point of life and you're breathing and you're living and you're able to say, I'm even menopausal, that means that you've already lived damn near half of a century. Yeah. And you've got enough of that shit under your belt that it's okay to you literally have earned the right to not be that person for everyone anymore.
That's a growth as well. Growth is hard.
When do you get to retire?
You said what?
When do you get to retire?
You should get to retire when you say it's time to retire. It's a very difficult space to be in. Relaxation is difficult.
Oh man,
especially when you know what I mean. So
do I?
Even though you need to be in those spaces to do that, I realize that it's a twofer.
Yes.
The same way I come here because they need it. This is my purpose. I need to give this somewhere. And I want it to be someplace where it's organically received and easily received. And because everybody here is naked, it's easy. So that's how I deduce finding other things in that space besides sex,
Which I honestly feel like you said, the majority of the time, that's it. Which is why the pressure of being in non-consensual environments and stuff like that is so heavy, because I think most people have a level of a demisexual in them where they require some type of connection, right? I don't care if the connection is that your favorite, y'all both like the color red. You do need to feel like there's something about this person that aligns with you for you to want to give access in a certain way. And only time I find that that's not happening is when you're running from something, right? When you're trying to use sex as a form of escapism as opposed to discovery, right? Because you can have positive, those things,
interactions,
but
and
for you, I believe that you're never gonna not be the person who pays your dues forward and pays it forward, but also you've paid your dues. And part of the reason why this conversation was something that was so important and that I wanted to have with you is because a lot of times it's just that the right people haven't just seen you yet, right?
Absolutely.
And so if I have a platform and an opportunity to have a conversation that I think will genuinely be great for our audience and our viewers, and that will be relatable for a lot of people watching it, both men and women alike, but also we're supposed to share that platform.
And put it,
yes,
absolutely.
Yes.
And I so appreciate you for that.
So I'm happy. I just want to thank you for taking the invitation, Pegasus. But honestly, I really, really, really do feel like with where we are, I think as a people socially and the way things have felt, everybody's just looking for permission to, for it to be okay to do something. Yes.
Just to be.
And I think if I could think about lifestyle spaces, if I could summarize it for anyone, a LS space is not just, it's a sex positive space.
Absolutely.
Which means it is in a positive environment for where sex can take place, but it is not a sex party.
Yes.
Right. Because this is a community. This is a culture of people. This is a space that you come where you have permission to exist as who you are, do the things that you love free of judgment, but in a place that has boundaries and safeties and things in place to protect you. When you're in the right LS space, it's not going to feel like a sex party. In fact,
like
the
family.
thing that you thought you would never do is the thing that you actually end up doing. And that's how you know you found the right places to go. You know, speaking of which, Don't Heart or Soft got some. Don't Heart or Soft got a party coming up. Let's keep it real. Come on. Like we really, it's so crazy to me because you have to ask yourself, are you thinking for you? Like, make it make sense is my favorite phrase. I love taking phrases that we use casually and I'll be like, no,
And
literally.
make it
Make it
real.
make sense. I'm a logical person, right? I know you're not thinking a lot of women are capable of it, but I'm actually logical first. And then I say, after I think what makes sense, I go, does it feel right?
Right.
And then I add the emotion. I think that's the better order to do it. But when I say that, I mean, does it make sense to me that people find it more shameful to be the kind of people who go into these spaces, right? Who go into environments where consent is enforced, where rules are there, where there are monitors who are there to help keep the vibe and keep people safe, where there's access to safety things like, you know, you got condoms, you got different things, things to, you know, keep things safe. You're in that kind of environment, right? You think that that's less safe than casual encounters with people where there maybe is never a true conversation around what consent is or what it looks like. It's sometimes being in that space where it's not expected for you to be safe. That's
where you find the safety at.
Right. Yes. But meanwhile over here, there are people who are having solo encounters that are scared to ask to see a my chart, that are scared to ask you to put a condom on.
How many other people you been with? Are you sleeping with somebody else now currently? And if you are is it protected or not? They don't want to have these conversations.
Right.
This is a first.
Right. Those conversations are actually shamed in non-lifestyle spaces, whereas in this space, it's normal to ask those questions. So what's really unsafe?
We know most things are a facade. We know, and this is why I love these spaces, because the blinders are fucking off for the most part. You know,
the blinders are off.
The blinders are off.
Listen, and all your insecurities will be on display, girl. But it's okay because you will not be the only fupa in the room, right? You will not
love it. And this is what, girl. I have been to some things where I have just had to just go.
Right. Oh, and I will say this. I think the other thing y'all sleeping on, if you're an intellect, right, a sapiosexual, and a voyeur, you really get thrills out of watching exciting things, right? It doesn't have to just be limited sex. You might be really depriving yourself of an environment that will give you all of those things in one, because I'm not just watching from something to see like, oh, that looks exciting. I'm studying it. I'm like, oh, let me just
that's
look at that reaction.
Like when I do it, or maybe I should do more of that. Not only is that it's sensory, it's the sound, it's the smell of like. Everybody ain't into it, but I love the smell of clean sex, of course, you know.
I'm so happy you add that word, girl, because it's not the same.
Some funky shit going on, you know. And there's room for that as well in some spaces, because there are people I've had requests
of people who want
all day pussy, like that don't just come from wherever the fuck you been and just it's like, bro. All right, well, okay.
Listen, but look, what we say at Bedroom Candy is that we don't yuck on someone else's yum.
That's right. I understand that.
So and I always say we also invented, we listen and we don't judge. And you know, a part of why I like to bring these discussions and elevate these discussions on these kind of platforms, people might not see the connection between a company like Bedroom Candy and this, but where they intersect, aside from product. Obviously, we have adult product. Okay, so sex is our game. You know what I'm saying? This is what we do. But aside from that, the unexpected thing that a lot of people find is the community, right? Where there are people who are like, I know when I get married, you're going to be in my wedding, that I met through being consultants at this company. It's like you know, and you know what I think the greatest value is? When you begin, and nothing against the sandbox friends, nothing against your day ones, nothing against the ones you grew up with and went to school with, nothing against y'all. But when you meet people in adulthood and form a friendship, they're more likely to be closely aligned with the version of who you are now.
The
There are a lot
current
of people who struggle with long-term friendships because some points they sometimes start to grow in different directions, and they're
And they take it
mourning.
personal.
Exactly. They're mourning the loss of the friendship that really won't ever be again.
Right.
As opposed to me meeting you at this defined phase where I met a lot of these women, they're business women. They're trying to, support their family. So we already have a common thing
Common goal
just
with
in
mine.
that,
Just,
right?
yeah.
But except we're going into business by ourselves, technically, right? Or people say that you can go into it. You're a self-employed person. You're an entrepreneur. However, I said that wrong. For yourself. You're going into business for yourself. But then you get into this community and you discover that you're not by yourself.
Right.
So I was like, okay. And I'm telling you, girl, like down
That's the
to
flashlight.
Seriously.
That's the flashlight in the dark. I'm thinking I'm by myself and oh
no.
Y'all are here.
We're all here. And we're talking about what we're struggling with. We're talking about our growing pains, not just in business life, but in personal life. We're talking about the struggles with time management and attention deficits and juggling all the things. Majority of the people who are out here doing these toy parties, they got full-time jobs. They got families.
Hustle.
They hustling.
Yeah.
They hustling. They coming out their house to yes, good time. But even not just the community you get in that. The women that I met at the parties became like, first of all, I done talked to you about your coochie from day one.
Absolutely.
It don't get much closer than that. That's why my brand is your sexologist bestie. How much closer are we going to get after I done talked about how
what
you
else
come
can
with
we
you?
talk about
like
after that?
At this point now, we can spin the block and go back and talk about your childhood trauma because I done got I got some of the most intimate information about people on day one of meeting them.
Shit, the most,
You are asking me which is the best lube for anal.
Right.
2 hours into meeting me. We locked in. Ain't no switching up after that. So I found that those women are like those my dogs. But also I've met women who are like directors of state level offices and lawyers, attorneys. I've met all kinds of women at the party. My ratchet sisters, the hoes,
exactly.
the hoe,
Hey.
okay. As well as the business professional women who want to let their hair down, the divorcees, all of that. And I realized that like, dang, I thought I was just starting a little side hustle. No. I was creating community. I was finding my tribe because even the rooms that I ended up in, we connected. I talked to the host while we planning and we connecting. Like all of my hostesses, I stand on this. They'll tell you that if I did their party, they felt like we was best friends before I ever walked in their house, to the point that like, you're not going to feel like I'm a stranger by the time I get there. But I'm saying all of that to say that that's why this conversation overlaps, because an LS space is just like any other space like we're creating here for people who are looking to find yourself. In this one place, you can get access to high quality products made with intention and all of that type of stuff. You're going to get access to the opportunity to learn, develop yourself, and it's not just about consultantship. You're getting sex education. You're getting wellness education. You're learning about cosmetics, ingredients. You're learning from the developers. You're learning about the process. You're expanding that, but then you're getting growth and mentorship, mindset, leadership training, people who are teaching you and saying, I'll do it with you. Well, I'll take an hour, sis. We'll get on there. We're going to do a power hour. We ain't even got to talk. We just going to work for the hour at the same time. It's
beautiful.
And on those days that you don't have it, those are the reasons that you are able to be accountable to each other and really hustle. So I think when people don't understand how passionate even I can be about this company, even though sometimes I lose my mind with bedroom candy. Because as we're going through these changes in the world and trying to figure out how to still meet people where they are, knowing that we're dealing in a taboo realm.
And being our color.
Okay. It gets frustrating. It gets hard. There are days where I'm like, ugh. But when we talk, when I come into spaces and see that these things have brought me in contact with these people, then I realize, okay, this is why. It's way bigger. This shit is a movement.
And then the pain and the woe becomes purposeful. It becomes the reason why. You see why it took so much, because it's so big. It's so great.
Yes. My catchphrase, I be telling them, I took my passion. I enjoyed something that I was doing, something I was passionate about. Okay, I made it my purpose, but then I turned it into my paycheck.
That's right.
And that's where I think the connection, because I think most people would want to get paid to do
what they love.
They
say if you do what you love, you never work a day in your life.
And it's crazy because on your toughest days, even on the days that I didn't want to go out and do an event, when I get there, I'm like, oh, this is why, and you get that feeling.
Come alive, yeah.
And I'll say, not everybody's going to have those outcomes when you step into certain things, but I don't think that there's a person who didn't learn anything about themselves here, because I wasn't expecting to get access to like medical doctors as experts and all these people. Like, these are people that are in my phone book today that I can be like, oh, hey, let me call Dr. So-and-so. That circle changed because I stepped into an intentional environment where the goal was wellness and pleasure and being aligned with people who cared about those things. So I say that to say I wanted to pay some of that forward to you, and but also give an opportunity for people to hear your voice and the things that you have to say, because I really think it's powerful. I know it's powerful, and I'm gonna leave that right there. But what I do want you to do is, if there's a way or a place or any platforms that you like to, that you keep in touch. I know you said you don't be on Facebook and stuff like that.
Well, I mean, yeah, no, I don't really Facebook, but you can find me on IG at Mistress Pegasus _ That's MISTRESSPEGES. No, I'm sorry. That's terrible.
PEAGUSUS. I said it right?
PEGASUS.
Yes.
That's it. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
I'm on X. I'm Mistress Pegasus on X as well. Where else? My OnlyFans. Well, listen, don't even worry about it.
Y'all gonna find everything goes there.
If you find my Mistress Pegasus, you can just hit the link tree, and it's all there.
Everything else is
Everything
there.
is there.
Okay. Well, thank you, my darling. And well, before you go, you have any closing words or thoughts that you want to put out there?
Just be gentle with yourself. Be gentle with yourself. Accept and fall in love with the space you're in right now, with the understanding that we're gonna grow from it. But love who you are right now.
I love that. Well, I hope you guys took in all of this good, because I feel like there was plenty here. But make sure y'all come back and check back in with us here on another episode of the Business of Pleasure podcast. I'm your girl, Kash, your sexologist bestie, and I'm about to go practice what I preach.
That's right.
Bye.